Hello and welcome to the ASL Season 8 Eliminator game hosted by me, TCP, and let me explain once again what the Eliminator game is. So 5 members of the ASL YouTube team are going to be battling it out in the Eliminator game. What the Eliminator game is that each week, every member is going to pick one coach that they think will win their game that week. Here's the catch. After every single week, you can no longer pick anyone that you have picked in the past. So anyone you picked to win in the past, you can never pick them again. And if you pick someone who loses, you are eliminated from the Eliminator game. The last person standing will be able to win the coveted Spin the Wheel Pass, which will allow them to skip one spin the wheel punishment and they can use it whenever they want for whoever they want. That's the Eliminator game, and let's get into what happened this week. Welcome to week 2 of the Eliminator game with me, TCP, and this has been going real fast. I mean, Texas has knocked out another 2 members going into week 2, with Bash and GCS both voting on him to win, and it didn't happen. So it's down to sudden death between Brett and I. Now, going into sudden death, there is a rule that we wanted to kind of have down before, just in case the situation happens where both of us lose. But I don't think that's happening this week. So in the situation where both of us lose, because it's gonna happen either way. That either I lose and Brett wins, Brett loses and I win, or we both lose. And those are the situations that can happen that are going to decide the winner of this Eliminator game. And we're going to be going for as long as possible. So, what happens in the situation that both Brett and I lose? Well, first I want to talk about our picks. So, I picked Melone. Melone is battling off against Shadow this week. And I feel pretty confident in Melone, based on the fact that he has Mega Diancie in fairy type coverage absolutely wallops Shadow's team. So I'm relying on that. I'm a bit scared of Kartana, but Ferrothorn checks almost all variants, unless Shadow makes predictions to Sacred Sword it, which can be played around. So that's why I picked Melone. I know I'm voting against Shadow, and it's a bit malicious to vote against Shadow after I voted against him week 1, and 2 guys voted against him week 2. There's been a lot of voting against Shadow, but it's kind of to be expected. It's not a mean thing. It's based off the fact that he did not win a lot of games in his past seasons. So I picked Melone. Brett chose a, I guess, less risky pick in choosing me because I win every single time. Got him. Ignore week 1. But Brett chose me. I have to assume that he's thinking of playing it safe and trying to get to as late as he can without really making any risks. And that's kind of reflected in his first few picks. I mean, Vish is a solid pick to win pretty much any week, and it's kind of shown that he's already 2-0. And Brad is always a pick to win, almost always, and he chose it against himself, which is kind of a bit strange. I guess he wanted a win-win situation where if he loses, then he's still in the Eliminator game, and he has that shot for the get out of jail free pass in the spin the wheel pass. So I guess that's he's based off his past performance against Brad. He just assumed that Brad would beat him. So I think he's trying um to continue on with that path by choosing me. If I had to assume who he'd pick next week, it would probably be Cody because he is our last season champion. Um, but yeah, that's our picks going into it. And if both Malone, I wanted to clear up, if both Malone and I lost going into week 3, then what happens is we go into sudden death. So Brett and I will have to come up to an agreement. We will choose one battle who both of us probably think are pretty 50-50 to win. We would choose the opposite coaches of each other. And no matter what, one of us will win and one of us will lose. That's just how sudden death will go if both of us happen to lose. And it has to come down to that. But I don't think it will come down to that because I'm pretty confident in myself to win, and I'm pretty confident in Diancie to beat Shadow. So, yeah. That's been week 2 Eliminator game. Hopefully this is out after weekly recap, so I don't spoil what happened with Vish's game and Texas's game. And Texas's game is a bit of a surprise considering that 2 people were confident that he would win. I think GCS was more following Bash um than thinking that he was win based off our commentary behind the scenes. But yeah. So hopefully this is after weekly recap. If it's not, then it will probably be up on Friday, which is the day that I will plan on releasing these in the future. And yeah, that's been me. Goodbye.